But the vision is for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. That means in one breath it says it tarries, but the second part is saying it's not going to be any longer than it should be. So any longer than it should be means that if it's taking some time, that means you need more time to prepare to be able to handle it. The time is not because you can't do it. The time is you might not be ready to handle it. So the delay a lot of times is preparing you to be able to deal with it. Many people touch dreams, but very few people sustain them, maintain them, which is sustaining them and reproducing them, because they're not ready to handle it. So that's what the delay is for. So a lot of times we're rushing because I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. But that's what the prodigal son said. Man, just give me mine now. Give me my possession. Luke 15. Just give me my possession now. So the father gave it to him. And he spent it all up. He consumed it all. He just touched it. Then it says he was in a far country, so he was outside of God's will, outside the lines. Instead of the narrow path, he was all over the place. So it said that he got a job working with pigs, and he was so hungry, he was like, man, I'm just eating what the pigs eating. And at that moment, he came to himself. He said, let me get this right. My dad's servants eat better than this. I'm going to go back and see if I can be a servant. He said, cool, I just want to be a servant. Look, he changed his heart and was willing to go back and serve, which is what his father was teaching him that the whole time. So when his heart changed, when he came back, the father threw a party. Because he left taking things for granted, but he came back with appreciation and value. And so he was prepared to handle now getting his dream. See, because if you don't appreciate it, you'll take it for granted and it'll be temporary. But if you value it, you protect it by maintaining the character and the integrity that you learned on the way to getting to it. You see that? So again, it said, write the vision. So God's going to show you some things. Some of you he's already shown, but he's going to show you some things. Well, he says, write it down. Make it plain. So that means take the time out to get the details of what God is trying to show you. See, because sometimes you ever, well, I don't know if you ever, but I'll just use an example. People will come in my office. I work for a church in Ohio. So they will come and it's like, man, I just want to know what my purpose is. And then sometimes a lot of wives will call and say, my husband quit his job. Could you just counsel us? So they come in and the guy's like, he's already ready. Like, listen, ain't nobody telling me what to do. All I know is God told me to quit my job. I hear from God. Why you sending me to him? He hear from God. He wear pants. I wear pants. So he walk in the office. He said, so she would go, and he quit his job and we're struggling and we're going through stuff. And could you just talk to him? And he'd be just looking at me like, what you going to say, preacher? So then I said, okay, well, she shared her part. You know, you want to give the breakdown? Because I don't know. God could have told him something. But when you open your mouth, you reveal your heart. So normally I ask questions so people can open their mouth so I can get a read on what's in their heart. Because sometimes it may be a clouded perspective, and sometimes they might just be on it. It may be so brilliant, nobody else can understand. So God could have told him. So when he said it, he said, yeah, all I know is God told me to quit my job. I said, so what else did he tell you? He just looked at me like, huh? I said, that's it? The guy just stopped talking. So your whole history with God is, 15-second conversation? That's it, you done. Quit my job, got it, gone. You running with the vision. No details, no nothing. I said, you could have, in your conversation with God, could have told you, okay, quit the job. Next week, go back. Ask for the job back. When you come back, I got 3 times the money I had for you before. Well, and then continue talking to God. God could have said, okay, quit the job, but don't quit today. This is what I have for you to do. Send an app over here. They're going to give you a job, but I don't want when you give you a job, you thinking, nah, but I'm comfortable. No, you're going to quit this job after you get this job over here, though, because you got to take care of the family. So we have to stay attentive because there's details, because we have to write it plain. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I spent my first 28 years in Newark, New Jersey, 28, 29. I spent the last 19 in Columbus, Ohio. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Before coming to Charlotte, I'd never been to Charlotte in my life. God said, come to Charlotte. Now, my wife is with me. She's been in Columbus. She's been a Buckeye her entire life. We were living in our second home. She loved that house. And we have 4 grandchildren, which, of course, we love our grandchildren. Trust me, my wife didn't look like she was, you know how you go to some churches, you look at the wife, and you be like, oh, man, what is he doing to her? She ain't got no smile, no nothing. Oh, God, he's suppressing that woman. That woman ready to explode. Hey, we need to pray for the pastor because he might die tomorrow. You see that. But my wife is not like that. So now, how are we out here? Because the Lord gave the vision. I had to write it and make it plain. Ain't nobody coming to another state because I just said, God said that we're going to Charlotte. That's it. That has to be the end of the conversation. We're just going to Charlotte. That's it. That's it? Yeah, you're just going to Charlotte. We need to be obedient to what the Lord said. No, I had to write it plain. Then a couple times we had conversations. We had the conversation, so we're supposed to be coming. And then an opportunity came up. So my wife was like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that opportunity, do this and the other. And so now I'm stuck. I was like, but we supposed to be going to Charlotte. What does this got to do with us going to Charlotte? So I really didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to deal with, suppose her heart is really in this and we're going to be going at it. But I had to say something. I was like, well, sweetheart, I got a question. What does that have to do with us going to Charlotte? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. She says, you know what, babe? Nothing. She said, every once in a while I need some faith boosters. She says, so we might have to keep going over the vision that's already written plain. So we can run with it. My wife was here before I was. 6 weeks. My wife don't go nowhere without me. I'm the navigator. We're talking about navigation. I'm the navigator. How we get places is me. My wife came out here for 6 weeks by herself because she got 8 job offers. Right? So, but how? There was already a vision. We was playing off the vision. She read the vision from 2009. We just moved yesterday. So she pulled out a box and she read the vision. She said, honey, you better go read this vision. I said, 2009? I was like, okay, when I get a chance. She said, no, you need to read it. She says, everything that happened in 2010 and now is in that vision. She says, you got to go look over that thing. So it was already written. And actually, our vision this year is like a page. I picked it up. It was like a little booklet. So I was like, babe, I got to read this later. I read the cover page, but I was like, wow, in detail. She says, honey, it's awesome. I have to read through it. Everything that's going on and everything, especially everything that happened in 2010 was already in the vision. So we want to write it. We want to make it plain because how are people going to follow you if they don't know where you're going? How do they know where to connect? How do they know where their piece fits? If the vision is not clear. Okay, so what is I was pursuing professional basketball. I was elevating in social services, and so my wife used to always ask like, okay, so we had a skills development program, basketball program. She's like, okay, so what do I do? Then we had a business. She was like, okay, so now what's my part? Everything we did, she was like, okay, so, and I do what? So I'm here to help. I'm help me suitable for you. Okay, I'm a jacket. Where are the shoulders that I fit on? Because I don't see no shoulders. I was just wondering, like I'm a jacket, like, no arms, no shoulders, like, am I gonna be needed? Ministry? She kept seeing her fit. Oh, I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. There's some of what she's doing right now. I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. I see myself doing this. I said, we kept talking about, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do that. See, people have to see their fit. They have to see where they fit. Right? Even in a household. People have to see where they fit. All right, so write the vision, make a plan, as though it tarry. Okay, I spent all that time on that. Hosea 4:6, it says, without vision, my people perish. Is that the right one? People perish? Yeah, that's it, right? Is that it? I'm asking you. All right, thank you. So without a redemptive revelation, is what the Amplified says. Thank you, Lamar. I knew you knew the scripture. And then Proverbs 29:18, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Is that right? Yeah. The Amplified says, without a redemptive revelation. See, redemptive revelation. Revelation is something that's revealed. Redemptive is being redeemed. You know, the scripture says to buy up the time in Ecclesiastes 5. So maximize your moments. So every time you see what God is doing and you take steps to harmonize with what God is doing, you maximize every moment in your life. But suppose you just ignore God. You're taking steps, but are you redeeming the time? Are you maximizing every moment in your life? So then and you're a leader. We're talking about leadership, right? So you're navigating the people following you, your children following you, your family, your friends following you. You're taking them where? Where are they going? And are you training them to maximize every moment in their life? Or are you training, so do you honestly think when you go, vision, smidgen, we'll get to that. I know God's talking, but if I don't hear him, then I don't have to do it. So what do you think you're going to get for your kids? You read what you sow, right? You start talking about, well, you need to do this. Nah, I'll get to it, whatever. And if you really step back, they're a reflection of you. So if we're following God, harmonizing with his, scripture says all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So we quote that everything works out for your good according to the Bible, Romans 8:28. No. According to, in harmony with his purpose. See, because you're online to fulfill his purpose, so any obstacle has to work out for your good. Because you're in that narrow way. Matthew 7:13, narrow is the way. You're on that narrow path to your purpose, and you're not letting nothing sway you. So even when the obstacles come, it has to work out for your good. God has to send you a detour around that obstacle. He has to send you the next best step from there, right? But if you're not in his will, you over here, there's no detour to keep going down there. You're going the wrong way. Does that make sense? Sure it does. I have to say it makes sense to myself, right? All right, so this is the key. As a leader, anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. Vision is defined as the ability to see the whole trip before leaving the dock. A leader will also see obstacles before others do. I got that from John Maxwell. That's not mine. A leader sees more, sees farther, and sees before others. A navigator or a leader listens. He finds out about the grassroots level reactions. Balance with optimism and realism. So you want to be an optimist and you want to also be somewhat of a realist, but it has to be a balance. So an optimist sees a sculpture in a stone. So I told you the story before. This guy comes to his friend's house and he says, man, what you gonna do with that boat over there? He said, that boulder? That boulder that I've really been trying to get out the yard forever? He was like, nothing. I'm gonna keep looking at it. He says, well, can I have it? You gonna remove it? Yeah, I'm gonna remove it. He said, sure, take the boulder, man, go ahead. This fool want a boulder, cool. So this guy happens to be a craftsman. And so his friend that he got the boulder from, he comes by, walks in his shop. He says, oh my God. He says, listen, before you even open your mouth, anything, I give you 50,000 for that. Listen, it may cost more, maybe 100, I have 50,000 for that. He says, 50,000 for that. Okay, I don't know, man. No, come on, 50, man. We're friends, 50,000. He says, okay, I'll take the 50,000. And so, they go out to eat, have lunch or whatever, they're talking later. He says, no, I meant to ask you, what did you ever do with that boulder? He says, I made about $50,000 off of it.